We know that going into the game on Sunday is going to be a very difficult one against West Ham at the London Stadium for very obvious reasons. Suspensions, injuries, and of course the amount of energy that was sapped out of the players and the fans and the coaching staff, everybody involved with Newcastle United, of course, in the win over PSG on Wednesday. However, if anyone could get back up for a game, it's Newcastle United and Eddie Howe. We know that. West Ham, they were in Freiburg last night in European competition as well. Will fatigue play a factor with them, or will they be up for the game as well? 17 unbeaten in Europe. Their confidence has got to be sky high as well. Let's take a look what the manager had to say. Hi everybody, I'm Paul. Welcome back to the Toon Review YouTube channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. Before we get cracking, if you do enjoy today's show, as usual, please do hit the thumbs up button. It is very important that we keep the likes coming in on the channel so that fellow fans like yourselves can find the channel and hopefully subscribe in the future. If you are new and you like what you see, please do hit the subscribe button. It is free to do so, and also that notification bell which will let you know when we upload any videos such as this, or we schedule in our live shows, which are most nights every week. As you can see, we're very close to 24,000 subscribers, so with your help we can get there sooner rather than later. Right, into the press conference. Now obviously we know that Eddie Howe is always meticulous in what he says and what he does in preparations for games, and coming across in the press conferences, he very rarely gives anything away. We know that. When you try and press him on injuries and things like that, he'll say what he has to, but he won't be pushed on anything. And I think sometimes when you listen to the reporters asking him questions and you think, why are you asking him that? Just push on the game, push on the team. Who's he going to play? What's his stance on the left side with, Anthony Gordon missing, Harvey Barnes injured? What can he do to fill that gap? Nothing like that was asked. And personally, if I'm in a press conference or I'm a fan, I want to know. I want to try and push him a little bit. I know he won't give much away on his formations or his tactics or whatever that is, but just push him a little bit further, But anyway, he started off saying, I'm just so pleased in terms of the performance on Wednesday. The feeling afterwards will hopefully live long. Now we have to refocus our energy and our attention to West Ham. We know it will be a difficult game, so we have to get our psychology right. So just what I was talking about there in the intro, the amount of energy that was sapped out of anybody on Wednesday night. We all know how we felt when we got home. We were exhausted, but we were also, the adrenaline was kicking in. For one, I went to bed, I just couldn't sleep. I had, pains in the back or whatever, but I wouldn't have missed that game for the world, let's be honest. But it was worth it. And then I was sitting up during the night still seeing loads of Newcastle fans active on social media. So you can imagine what the players would have been like by the time they got home after doing all their, interviews and going meeting people after the game and things like that. Now, Eddie Howe is very good at probably bringing them back down to earth. We've seen many times in the dressing room how Eddie Howe conducts himself, and he will be in the training sessions after that. He'll be bringing them back down to earth and making them realise that, okay, Champions League's on the back burner for a few weeks now. Let's just concentrate on our next game, which is our bread and butter, which is the Premier League, and it's West Ham at the London Stadium. So again, he knows how important that was on Wednesday night, but also the fact that the players will probably be on a high. And you'll have to, channel that in the right direction, as in keep the motivation up, keep the confidence up, and go to the London Stadium, think, right, we've just battered Paris Saint-Germain. We'll go out and get a few goals here, which, we've been on top against West Ham in previous matches quite a lot. So maybe we can do it again. West Ham are on a high, though. As I say, 17 games unbeaten in Europe. They are really riding the crest of a wave at the minute as well. And listen, I've got a lot of respect for West Ham. I like West Ham as a football club. I think they're very similar to us. Good fans, good passionate working class fans who love their club like we love Newcastle United. And we've got quite a few West Ham fans who subscribe to this channel. So, they are football fans, proper football fans. And, I have probably, out of all the London clubs, they're without a doubt the one I respect. Absolutely no doubt about it. Now, further on, he goes on to talk about the injuries. Now, this is obviously where our concern comes from. probably not just our concern, but the concern of the coaching staff as well. He says the injury list doesn't look great, but apart from Harvey Barnes, I don't think there's anything long-term there. We'll wait and see how Callum Wilson and Joelinton are. They're the closest two. We have Anthony Gordon suspended, which is a blow for us. Sven Botman won't make it on Sunday. Now, the one name that he didn't mention was, of course, Joe Willock, who in previous press conferences he said is very close. But again, there's nothing being said about that. So whether Eddie Howe is keeping quiet on Joe Willock because there's a chance he might make the bench on Sunday, who knows? Obviously, he doesn't want to give a lot away to David Moyes. We know that. He likes to keep things to himself. Anthony Gordon is going to be a massive miss through suspension, of course. And the left-hand side is going to be very interesting. If Callum Wilson is fit, then what I think he will do is he'll put Wilson through the middle and Isak on the left. But if Callum's not fit, we have a little bit of a problem there, don't we? So, he's going to have a headache with that. But listen, he said before the Paris game that Joelinton and Callum Wilson were very, very close to making it. So I foresee them both playing, to be honest. Botman, of course, out until after the international break, but nothing about Joe Willock, which was interesting because I think everybody wants to know when Joe's going to be fit because, let's be honest, he will give us another dimension once he's fit. We've just destroyed Paris Saint-Germain. We're on a really good run of form, but we've got really good players to come back as well. So it is very, very exciting to see how far we can actually go this season once everybody's fit. But we know that football is awful sometimes, and it's very rare that a manager gets to choose from a full fit squad, not even at the start of the season. So we'll say Willock will come back and then somebody else will go down with an injury, which is how it normally is in football, unfortunately. Now, on the fans who were just magnificent on Wednesday. I mean, even people that were watching on the TV have all come back and said how amazing it was to hear that stadium. But inside the stadium itself was just incredible. It was one of those that will live long in the memory. The Newcastle fans, the ultras from Paris, the drums, the singing. It was just incredible European night. Eddie says we are in the game to make our supporters proud and affect them emotionally. We know the importance of what we do for the city and for the supporters, and it really does drive us. It was a great night, and if people were affected emotionally, then that makes me really happy. And of course, what he means by affected emotionally was, people that are having a bad time of it at the minute, and it's like I said not long ago on a show, people that are having a really bad time, they'll look at Newcastle United as their get out, that they'll go and watch the football and since the takeover and everything's been quite on an upward curve, you'll go to Newcastle and you'll come away with a smile on your face and you'll feel better about yourself and what's going on around you. It happens to me, suffering from Parkinson's, and if I'm not feeling great, which I wasn't on Wednesday, but I went to the game and I felt brilliant coming out of that ground. I paid for it later, but I felt brilliant coming out the ground and meeting other fans I met another fan who has the same illness as me, but he was suffering a little bit worse than I was, but he was buzzing as well. And it's incredible when you see that kind of emotion when you come out of the ground and you see everybody smiling, everybody high-fiving and talking to each other. That's what being a Newcastle United fan is all about. And that's what people like Mike Ashley just didn't get. They didn't get the connection that you could have had with the fans, with the city. And of course, Eddie Howe gets it. He gets it 100%. He got it from the moment he walked in to Newcastle United and saying, what a job he has to do for the city, not just himself, but the city, the fans. And he just gets this football club. And if we have a manager and owners that get the fans, that get the football club, it can only be a wonderful future that we will have. So to hear our manager say that, it really does make your hair stand up and think, wow, we've got people at this football club who want to do everything for the fan. How many times have we said in the past, we just want people who play for the shirt, the badge, the club, and the fans. And boy, oh boy, have we got that now. It is such a lovely feeling to have, to know that they are there for the football club. Right, on to Miguel Almirón, who, of course, scored an absolutely cracking goal again on Wednesday night in a good vein of form. Played really, really, really well on Wednesday night. He says he's been very good. I think his finish on Wednesday cannot be underestimated. I thought it was a really good finish from a tough angle. He's in a good vein of form. He'll be very confident, and he's such a big player for us. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that Miggy will play on Sunday because of the left side problems, but I think we'll need him anyway. he talks about his goal there, and the more you see the goal, you'll understand what Eddie's talking about. The angle was incredibly difficult, but it came to him quickly as well. He had to be very quick to decide what he was going to do. But the good thing about what Miggy did with the finish on Wednesday was he put it back from where the goalkeeper was coming from. He didn't just try and tuck it in at the near post. He realised that Donnarumma would be moving over to that side. So Miggy just thought, right, I'll curl it in the other side where there's an empty net. And boy, did he do it brilliantly. He's in a fantastic vein of form at the moment. So the more that continues, the better. We've talked about Miggy in the past, saying, has he got a level that he can get to? The lower half of the Premier League teams, maybe, he stands out against. However, he's just proved to us that he can stand out in the big occasion as well. So that only bodes well for the football club with Miggy on form as well. Now, on West Ham, he said the motivation is there. We know what we have to do, but the big challenge is regaining our focus after everything that happened on Wednesday. Very quickly come back to our training, our preparation, and getting that right. So you can see the focus that Eddie's already got there. Again, like I said earlier, he understands the emotion and the just draining of every ounce of energy that everybody associated with Newcastle United had on Wednesday night. He understands that. But he also understands that the players, they're in a good place motivationally and they're in a good place mentally. And he can settle them down and get them right and ready for West Ham. But like I say, when you're winning games like we are, you've heard it millions of times from players who just want to get out there and play more games, score more goals, more points. They want these games to keep coming. Now, some of them will be disappointed that there's an international break. I don't think Eddie Howe will be, because it gives him the opportunity to get his injuries sorted and get players back to fitness. Certainly not match fitness, but fitness to be involved in a match day situation. So I'm really interested to see how we approach the game at West Ham, because I think if we play our normal game, we will give West Ham a very, very difficult game. There's no doubt about that. We've had some good results against them, and if we play to our potential on Sunday again, despite the injuries and suspensions, I think we can do a good job. I really do. But it's a relief to know that, Eddie Howe, you can imagine what he's like in the training ground. Everybody's going in the next day absolutely buzzing from there, but he'll sit them down and say, right, okay, you've had your celebrations, that's gone. We now focus on West Ham. You just know that's how he would be, and that's the best way to be, in my opinion. Now, finally, on Fabian Schär, who, of course, just seems to be getting better and better. He's like a fine wine, isn't he? He gets better with age. But, of course, under previous regimes, he was told that he was possibly going to leave the club. He couldn't play in the back four, all of this bull rot, and he's proved every single person wrong. The one person that had the faith in him to do that job was Eddie Howe, and bang, he's gone and repaid that faith that Eddie had in him. And the fans, look, Fabian Schär is just he's a Terminator, isn't he? He puts his head where it hurts every game. There's very rarely a game goes by that he doesn't get some sort of knock to the head or injury, but he gets up and he gets on with it, and he gets on with it at a very high level. Yes, he'll have a bad game or two along the way, or he'll have a misstrewn pass or something like that, but you know what? What a magnificent player he is. And Eddie Howe made a good point today, in his press conference, talking about Fabian Schär. Somebody asked him about the price. It's incredible and how much he'd be worth now. And Eddie was very, very articulate about it again, just saying that, money doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much we paid for him or how much another club received for him. It's about his ability, and it's about who he is as a man and a player. And he's delighted with the way that Fabian Schär's playing. He went on saying he's just been excellent. He has the capabilities to produce moments like that take your breath away. Technically, he's so good. He's a top player, and I'm really pleased he's getting the accolades for his performances. And Eddie will know what Fabian Schär's been through. I'm sure he's had conversations with Fabian in the past about previous regimes and what they thought of him and things like that. But listen, he's got a fantastic partnership with Sven Botman. Now, Lascelles is playing out of his skin at the moment, so many people are saying, does he bring Botman back when Lascelles is fit? When Botman's fit, does he bring him back for Lascelles? Because Lascelles has done nothing wrong to be dropped. But Eddie Howe has that... it's a good thing in a way that he's got three centre-backs who are absolutely at the top of the game. But for me, the best centre-back partnership is without a doubt Schär and Botman. And I think Eddie will go with that in the future. There's plenty of games this season that Jamal is going to play in. And it's great to know that he is at the peak of his form as well, to come in and step in for either one of those two. But Fabian, he topped it off with a absolutely worldy of a goal, wasn't it? It just curling into that top onion bag. It was just brilliant to watch. Certainly from the Leazes end, we were behind that and saw it curl in. Just an incredible finish. And you know what? I'm really pleased with Fabian because he's had to work hard to come back to where he is after a bit of a downtime at Newcastle, but he's come back fantastically, and he's one of the first names on that team sheet, no doubt about it. So there you go, guys. That is the main points of what Eddie had to say today. If you want to comment down below, please do. What do you think of the points that Eddie made today? Are you worried about the injury situation going into Sunday, or do you think we have the players who are still available? Are they good enough to get a result at West Ham? I certainly think they are. And I'm looking forward to the game, as I am with every Newcastle game at the minute. But let me know what you think about Eddie's comments this morning. Thank you very much for watching. As I said at the start, if you have enjoyed it, please do hit the thumbs up button. I keep babbling on about it. I really am sorry, but I have to, because that's what makes YouTube channels successful, is getting the likes, getting the thumbs up, and getting in the search results so the fans like yourself can find this channel. If you have enjoyed it and you're not already, please do subscribe. We are very close to 24,000. It's free to do so. We have a fantastic community here on the Toon Review, so please come and be a part of that, and also hit that notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload any videos such as this one. Keep voting for us in the Football Content Awards 2023. That link is pinned at the top of the description. Just head over there, scroll down to Best Podcast, click on the Premier League drop-down box, and vote for the Toon Review. Clear your cash, go back and vote again. Let's see if we can get in the top 3 this year. It would be an incredible achievement because we're against some very, very big hitters. But thank you very much for watching. If you're watching this on the Friday, please tune in tonight at 7 p.m. with myself and Billy for Face the Lads, fan interaction show where we get you guys on one at a time to discuss everything about Newcastle. What a week it's been. So I expect quite a few of you on tonight to have a bit of a good crack about the last week at Newcastle United, and of course looking ahead to the game against West Ham. And of course tomorrow we'll have the preview for the match, and then Sunday we'll have the watch along. So a very, very busy period, certainly for me and Billy Bob, as Alex is away. So we'll be busy, as we always are on the Toon Review. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, and we'll see you very soon. Take care.